What is going on, everybody? Brent Abel here, goldballhunting.com. Jeff Jacklich, right there. And another episode of the Gold Ball Hunting Podcast today. And today, Jeff has no idea what we're to talk about.
Zip.
Neither do you. I'm hoping I do. So hang in there, because another cool episode of the Gold Ball Hunting Podcast.
So the big question is this: how are tennis players like us who never played on the tour, weren't incredible juniors, or maybe got a late start to the game, how do we consistently compete at our highest skill level without having to grind through endless hours of on-court practice time and still be in the hunt for the victory match after match? That is the question, and Gold Ball Hunting gives you the answers by helping you eliminate your skill level range so that you build a strong foundation of confidence. My name is Jeff Jacklich, and along with Brent Abel, my partner, welcome to Gold Ball Hunting.
So, Jeffrey, what is going on? Today is day number 6 of the national grass courts, the 60 and 75 age group. Age groups, we right now have got the finals, the men's finals, the 60 right out here on grass court number 3. Mark Vines and Mike Federley. Going to be a barn burner of a match. I think it's going to be a long one.
Yep.
And beautiful day here. Incredible day here in the desert. Unbelievable. And then a lot of other matches going on today. Men's 75s are only in the quarterfinals, the singles. They've got to play both the quarters and the semis today.
Right.
And then we're actually videotaping a 60s semis doubles match right now for your viewing pleasure, coming at you in a few days.
Yes.
So here's what I want to ask you, Jeff.
Okay.
Let's say you wanted to shed some weight. Let's say you wanted to drop 20 pounds.
Okay.
Why would you go get advice from someone who needs to drop weight? I'm serious.
Or has been on the diet, like lather, rinse, repeat cycle, right? Where diet, lose the weight, come back, like that whole thing. Yeah,
That's right,
I don't know.
right.
I don't know, Brennan. Why would I ask?
Well, I'm
somebody
not sure. I mean, it's kind
to
of like, why would you go to ask someone for business advice, unless they're like stinky rich?
Right. Right? I mean, who are you going to model yourself after, right?
Right.
Isn't that's the basic question there, is who are you going to model yourself after? Who's been successful doing X, Y, or Z? You know, what
Rather than going to someone who can spout theory.
Yes.
I think you know where I'm going with this.
I kind of get where you're going with this.
So
Lead me down the primrose path, won't you?
here's my point, guys and gals. If you are trying to become a better tennis player, right, and you're trying to do it through, let's say you're playing some tournaments, or maybe you're a league player who actually wants to get a new rating label, why would you go to someone and get advice from someone who's not actually doing it?
Right. Who's never actually
Or
experienced it to
never-
some degree,
right.
and has played and actually done the work. So it has kind of hands-on experience in the process of how do you get better, and then having actually tested the waters and been in competition, stood there, at a set up and 5-4, 40-15, and actually, why now am I being overwhelmed with anxiety feelings when I'm actually ready to try and close out this match, right? Unless you've stood there, it's very difficult to kind of like, in theory say, oh, well, you just got to play your game. Oh, well, you just got to do what you do. Got to play within yourself. All those great cliches, and they don't amount to a hill of beans until you've stood in those shoes.
Yeah,
And then it's a harsh reality check. And you kind of go, okay, maybe I do need some help with this. And who can I get?
Well, look, I mean,
Who can I get down
I
to
think
it,
I think one of the things that we try to do is we're sort of the conduit between our viewers, our listeners, to who are the top players in their age group
Right.
in the country,
Right.
or if we got a Glenn Busby, in the world.
The world, right.
And so, really, what we're trying to help you guys do, number one, is believe that who you should be modeling is, I don't know, not Rafa, not Fed, not someone who's just unrealistic, but trying to copy a model in your own age group.
Right.
And look, and I get it in leagues. In leagues, what happens here is, since most of the time, leagues are organized by skill level, as opposed to, I mean, there are some age group, but a lot of players are, like, if you're a 62-year-old man and you're a 4-0, and you could be up against a 25-year-old guy who the NTRP thinks is also a 4-0, so
Right.
you guys have the same rating label, and it's a completely different deal. And so the older guys are watching the younger guys, and the younger guys are watching the pros, and it becomes this, like, wait a minute now,
Right.
I should be doing what the younger guys are doing because they're better than I am. Well,
Right.
look, they're younger to start, faster, stronger, whatever.
All that good stuff.
Yeah. So I guess the point I want to make today is you ought to be modeling. You ought to be modeling someone in your own age group. And yesterday we interviewed the number one guy in the country in the '60s, Mark Vines, and he was saying if you're 58 years old, right? Look ahead to the next age group.
Right.
Who is the guy in the '60s?
Right.
If you're 68 years old, look ahead to the guys who are
Right.
in the '70s and all that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
if you're 63, you're going to look to the 65.
That's right.
You're always going to, look out a little bit and see what kind of, training, work that you have to do on your game to compete in that arena. And things change now. Literally, it is kind of interesting. All the age brackets are in 5-year, blocks. And it is interesting. There are subtle differences block to block. And if you're not kind of staying with the program, understanding your own limitations, and or now you don't have a limitation because you did the work and you can still do certain things that some of the other guys can't do. All those things are variables that you have to be kind of in tune with year by year, and what are you capable of actually delivering when you step on the court, So yeah, who are you looking at? I mean, it just seems
Well,
like
it's just, and that's part of our deal. Like I know a lot of our viewers and listeners don't have. I mean, they don't are in a locale where they can go watch a Mark Vines, or they can go watch a Jimmy Parker. And so I kind of think like it's our job to be able to bring this to them.
Right.
Here's one of the things is, and we've been joking about this all week, is that we can bring this to you. We can show you a Jimmy Parker who's, been number one in the world in his age group for, lots of different years. Well, yeah, I mean, but so like we can bring you the video, but how often does someone say,
what's the deal with Jimmy Parker?
What's the deal with Jimmy Parker? Meaning, well, I could do that.
Right.
And you kind of go, okay, I get it. The video doesn't really show you reality in terms of if you were actually on the court with him. All of a sudden, you'd be kind of hyperventilating a little bit, going.
Yeah. You'd be asking the same question but from a viewing it through a different lens, different inflection. What the heck is the deal with Jimmy Parker?
That's right. Oh, I get it. So one of the things that we're doing here is right now, as I said earlier, we're videotaping I think I said this, we're videotaping a men's 60s doubles match, a semifinals. But this week we've been taping several matches.
Yeah.
We want to bring these to you guys, and so that this is kind of a cool thing. We have 60 and 75. These are,
Right.
These are sort of different. These are different.
I think it's going to be great, though, to actually see the contrast, because there is a contrast. There's a difference in what the game looks like. 15-year difference, And,
That's right.
That's a reality check. Just as a side note, I actually warmed Mark Vines up this morning for his match, and I have to make a correction. Yesterday I said that, he played his match and he didn't hit one topspin backhand the whole time. Correction, he told me he hit 3. So I stand corrected on that. Mark Vines actually hit 3 topspin backhands yesterday in his semifinal match.
Okay.
So.
Well, that's good. That's good, because I don't want them thinking that everything is right. Yeah, good. All right.
Full disclosure.
All right, guys. Well, listen. Thanks for hanging out with us again today. I guess the message we really want to get across is just really be careful who you are trying to copy and model, number one. But secondly, be careful with who is dispensing advice to you, and what is their model. I mean, we've said this a million times before in these podcasts. If Jeff and I get someone brand new who wants to come out in the court with us, they say, can you really help me with my forehand? And I go, well, let's take a look at it first in a match.
Right.
So what we need to see first is how, not so much technique, but what are your instincts, right? If you're in this part of the court and you're about to hit a forehand, what are your instincts of where you're going to play it and where you're going to move to next? And it could be that the technique is fine, right? But it's just that you're pulling the trigger and going to a court position that if you don't hit an outright winner on that thing, you've just set up the guy. Yeah. So you got to make sure that whoever you're getting advice from is saying, well, let's see you play first, because it might be more, let's work on tactics, strategy, shot choice, and core positioning, rather than the greatest annuity for tennis professionals, which is, let's go ahead and work on that top or forehand
again
for the rest of your life. And you're not going to get any better doing that.
We're about this right here. Here's what actually works.
Let's see if we can get that. There we go. Here's what actually works. Yeah. Good. All right, guys. So look, what we got for you is a couple cool things. If you go over to goalballhunting.com, drop in a first name and email address, click the button, what you're going to get is a video that Jeff and I recorded back in January, which is really kind of the foundation of how we're trying to help the different skill levels of players, reducing your skill level range. One set here, the next set, boom. 3 games here,
the basement.
Boom. One day up here, and then go home. Hey, babe, I think I got this game figured out. Yeah. Okay, honey.
Yeah.
And the next day, boom. So what we're trying to do is show you what the Mark Vines of the worlds do, the Jimmy Parkers do. They've got a tiny, tiny little skill level range.
Right.
They know within, maybe not at the very top of their game, but pretty darn close. And that's where you build confidence, is getting a really small skill level range. We've got a video that'll help you do that. The other thing we've got there for you is access to our online calendar scheduler, where you can pick a date and time that works best for you for a free private 10, 12, 15-minute coaching call, so Jeff and I can help you start to reduce that skill level range.
Yeah.
Kind of go through an exercise of discovering what's your one thing. Could be technique, could be tactics, could be mental, could be physical, but trying to identify that one thing. And if you were to spend the next 30 days on that one thing, all the other little laundry list potential things, dust in the wind.
What is the one item that moves, that has the biggest effect on everything? And that's how you, if you want to call it, that's how you hack the system. What's the one item that really moves the meter the most? And then when you start to view the game from a new viewpoint, other things seem to fall into place a little bit quicker, because you have a new, fresh understanding about the dynamics of what's happening out there. So,
drop the mic on that. Boom. That was Jeff. What do we want the fine folks to do right now?
Like us, share us, please subscribe. Let us know what you think down below. iTunes and Stitcher, rate and review. Goalballhunting.com. Spread the word. Spread the word.
Guys, in addition to that, you get out there, help someone else have a spectacular day. Should we do this again tomorrow?
I can't wait.
Okay.